Hey guys, Monster here, coming with a quick review for you guys, this time of The Purge Anarchy, as promised. Now, I do believe that I have a review for The Purge 1 on my channel already, and an unboxing, so if you want to know my thoughts on the first film, you can check that out, but if you want to know my quick summary of it, I basically thought it was decent. The potential was wasted on a home invasion film. I was not too disappointed that the potential was wasted on home invasion film, because I could see from the trailer that it was going to be a fucking home invasion film. You know, I didn't have too high expectations going into it, but yeah, the potential was wasted on home invasion film. That was the only real problem I had with the first one, and also the stupid fucking kid. If it wasn't for him, the entire film wouldn't have happened. So it's kind of a massive plot hole. But I digress. Anywho. So, The Purge Anarchy. Now, first of all, let's start with storyline. Now, storyline is sort of what people wanted. It's in the street now. It's showing you what's happening outside on Purge night and how crazy people go and shit. And yeah, you got a couple that break down just on the street. You got a couple of people that are dragged out their home. And you got a couple of people, and you got the main guy, Frank Grillo, I think his name is, who's just out to, I don't really want to spoil it, but it's kind of spoiled in the trailer anyway, but yeah, he's out on Purge night for revenge, let me put it that way. And yeah, the storyline is decent. I mean, it's serviceable for the sort of film it is. It could have been a little better, I think. I still think they're not quite there in terms of the potential they have for this sort of storyline. But I will talk more about that once I get into the action and violence and shit section of this review. So, I mean, story-wise, it's decent, it's serviceable, it does what it needs to do for this sort of film. I'll probably get the storyline a 7. The characters are a mixed bag. Frank Grillo is definitely the best character in the film. Not sure what his real name is. I'm not sure what his name in the film is, but yeah, his character is definitely the most realistic, I guess, and the one you care about the most. The two that get dragged out of their house, I don't know, at times I felt they were decent, at other times I felt they were unrealistic, and the sister was a bit, I mean, the daughter, even though she looks like her sister, but the daughter was a bit too unrealistically calm, I'd say, throughout the entire film. And finally, the couple, these two are definitely the weakest element of the film, because there is a moment, I don't want to spoil it, but there's a moment where something quite major happens to one of the other characters in this group. I'm not going to say what, but something happens to one of them, and the way they react is just, you know, they're upset with it, upset and in shock for about 10-20 seconds, and all of a sudden they're like, fuck it, let's just continue. You know, they don't give a shit. And yeah, that just seems unrealistic given the type of character they are. It's really hard to talk about without spoiling it, but yeah. So, characters is a mixed bag. Characters, I'll probably give a 6 out of 10 now, film being generous. The acting, again, with going along the mixed characters thing, mixed bag with the characters thing, the acting is a mixed bag. I mean, Frank Grillo is definitely a very good actor in this. The mother and daughter are a bit, you know, off cue, I'd say. They're not great, they could be a lot better, the mother and daughter. I don't know, their acting, it seemed a bit subpar, and they didn't seem to be putting all their emotion into it. The couple, well, the girlfriend, I would say, is a decent but not great actor. She's very average as an actress. The boyfriend is slightly better, I would say, just slightly, but still not great. So yeah, and all the other side actors are pretty decent, if not good. So I don't know, acting's probably a 7. Now the violence and the gore and all that shit. this part of the film is a lot better than the first one. I will give it that. The violence in this film is there's a lot more of it, and it's a lot more like what we wanted, but not enough. I would say. Now that's the problem with this making this sort of film. You can't make this film and make it, work in a way that so many people want to see it like, because the way people want to see it is they want to see the streets like full of fucking chaos. People getting randomly stabbed, people getting randomly shot, people getting raped, people getting mugged. All this shit happening on Persian Night you want to see because it's the sort of shit that would happen. You want to see the people walking down the street, and then all of a sudden there's like a rape going on, for instance, like a gang rape, and they have to decide whether or not they help out or not, and then they have to make that terrible decision that they have to leave it because they can't risk it. And then, just have the camera dwell on it a little bit as they're walking past and then just continue. And have, like, people getting stabbed up and show how disturbing it is. Show that the people getting stabbed are extremely innocent and these terrible people doing these atrocities. Because you need to have the disturbing factor in here, and the disturbing factor is not in this film. I did not find any of the violence in this film disturbing. It's fun. It's fun violence, and fun violence is good to a certain degree. I mean, like when you got the main characters getting revenge and shit, and just trying to survive. Then sure, that action should make you feel good. You should be rooting for those characters. But when you're seeing violence being enacted by the people they're trying to get away from, you shouldn't be cheering them on and wanting to see blood and gore and shit. The violence should be so off-putting that it's disturbing, and you can't really do that with a 15 certificate. But at an 18 certificate, they're not going to get the funding they need to make this sort of film. So you know what I mean? That's the problem you have when you're trying to make this sort of film. You won't get the funding to make it. I mean, if you try to make it extremely graphic, you won't get the funding for it. If you keep it tame like they did, it's not going to be disturbing, and you're going to lose your message. And that's kind of what happens. So the violence and the gore is probably about 5 out of 10. It could have been so much better had they had the balls to go all out on it and risk not getting funding. But yeah, that's my opinion on the violence anyway. And overall, guys, it's an enjoyable film. It's not amazing by any means, but it's enjoyable. I enjoyed it more than the first film. I don't remember what I rated the first film, but I'm probably going to give this one an 8 out of 10 overall, just because it's enjoyable, it's stupid fun, it's not amazing by any means, but I would say if they are going to make these films every year, at least it's better than Paranormal Shitivity, okay? It's no Saw, it's never going to be as great as Saw was, but at least it's better than Paranormal Shitivity. They need to end those fucking films, and if they keep this going, I'm okay with that. So that's my fairly lengthy review of The Purge. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and it's Monster 50 signing out.